I met a gypsy.
I think Twitter's the worst, negative.
Yeah.
Then you go down to Instagram, Facebook there. I don't, it's kind
I
of
don't even think Facebook's a real thing anymore.
yeah, I don't even.
It's
Yeah.
like, what
I
is...
post on there, but I don't that's not my community so much.
Yeah.
I feel like that's older community still. Like there was MySpace and then Facebook.
Yeah.
And then you have Instagram is kind of where I live the most, I would say. And then, which is kind of that random age demographic that we're in. And then you have, Snapchat is getting big or is big. That's where a lot of focus is going now. So I'm gonna start focusing on that more.
Yeah.
And
you can make crazy money on that,
know,
eh?
dude. Yeah, dude.
I heard people making I heard there was like an article, David Dobrik making 30 G's a day.
Yeah, no problem. He quit. It sounded like you moved from YouTube over to
Well, he
Snapchat.
kind of got like cancelled in a sense.
Yeah.
He had like that bad issue with that Jeff Wittick dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he went to Snapchat and started making crazy money.
Yeah. And I know the yes. I know the like Haley and Hayden and them. Yeah, yes. They do very well on Snapchat.
Oh, so is Hayden monetized on there?
Yeah.
Oh,
he's 18. He monetized on all of it. Yeah.
That's unreal.
Yeah, that's all, dude. Real estate money.
Yeah.
Bro, his first money he made, he went and bought a rental at the beach.
That's so sick.
Right?
Eh?
I said, bro, if you can have, let's just say 5 rentals in the next 5 years, like let's say it's 10 rentals by the time you retire, like nice houses that are renting, you own them, you're laughing, dude.
Yeah.
I go, you're gonna be in such a great spot. I go, you're gonna be so good, like 30 years old, it'll come before you know it. And you'll just have a grasp on life of just like what's next.
You just have a bit of freedom.
Bit of freedom. That's what those paper things are. They're freedom tickets. You're just free to do whatever you want, And that's
so whereabouts did he get a spot?
Down the beach, down by the Panhandle. There, where it's closest to Tallahassee. It's like the prettiest beach in the Gulf of Mexico. There, like the Destin Beach area.
Yeah,
I didn't even know it existed until I went to Florida a couple years ago, and we drove down there like, what? This place white, like sand beaches, real clean beaches, and the water's crystal blue and warm, and I'm like, just like the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And they're like, all the country music people live here. This is kind of their hidden like spot, you know. And then of course prices went through the roof the last 3 or 4 years, but we ended up buying a lot down there, and we're building a home. And I feel like we ended up finally getting rid of our house in California, which is
I can't believe you did that.
so difficult. But what were we gonna do with it? Like literally, what were we gonna do with it? Just reminisce on it, like.
Fuck.
We don't have that type of money just to leave homes chilling, right?
Yeah, I know, but like when you said you sold that, I fucking couldn't believe it. It's just because it's historic, and like we went. I'd been there before, but I'd never been like in the house, and I'd never like seen the house.
Yeah,
and that was just crazy. But
very beautiful. That was my first big home. We paid for it as I made money in freestyle. We would like build the house, then the shop, then the pool.
So you just built it?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. That was just a dirt lot. So we were looking at homes or looking at for lots in Temecula to have some land so I could build tracks and ride.
Yeah.
And so we found that lot out there, and those lots, they're 5-acre lots, and they were going for like, I don't know, at the time it was like $250 a lot for 5 acres. And then there was a big 20-acre spread with all the trees, and trees are very rare in California to get. Like there's a eucalyptus.
Yeah, because you had eucalyptus there.
Yeah, massive
trees. Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, who owns this lot? This is the best lot in the whole area. I'm like, but it wasn't.
And it's way at the end.
It's at the very end, butted up to the farmer's land that's lived there forever, never gonna sell. So I said, well, it's not for sale. Then my wife's creative. She's like, okay, we're gonna write a letter. So she wrote a letter, found out who owned it online, and wrote a letter like, we're interested in your lot, and the lady wrote back. And she was an older lady that just owned the lot, lived up in Riverside, whatever. And she's like, I go, would you be interested in selling it? This is where we want, I want to start a family, and this is what we're gonna do. And she said, okay, make me an offer. So basically at 20 acres, we offered her the cost of 2 5-acre lots. So we were going to get the 1 5-acre lot next door that we thought and that was a stretch for me at the time. And with the house build and everything. So we were like, she's like, okay, I'll sell it for that price. And I'm like, whoa, dude. Okay, now we got to figure out how to do this, right?
Yeah.
We got to figure out how we're going to get this money and build this house. And I said, whatever, we're going to make it happen. And so, which, I feel like a man does his best when you push him.
Put it back against the wall.
Back against the wall. And so we, boom, figured it out, paid her, bought the land. Next thing it was, we built the house and built from there. And it was the sickest property, dude. The best lot.
It's so beautiful.
And so we had, great memories, supercross, motocross, freestyle, foam pits, all the life of, and no one ever effed with us, ever.
No.
Like, we had 1,000 horsepower race trucks going in our yard, like, for hours. And my neighbor, Bill Wilson, who's a winery owner, he loved it. He was like, let's go. Because they're partying all night.
Next door.
Yeah, he owned the lots down the street. And all the wineries were cool with us because they partied on Friday and Saturday night with the bands.
Yeah, so you didn't leave. You didn't fuck with them. No. They didn't fuck with you.
It's all good. And in California, I'm like, bro, I do not care what you do.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Don't F with me. I don't F with you. And cool.
Yeah.
Go do your thing. And that's how I've always been as a neighbor. But we do have loud machines going, right? Like dirt bikes and race trucks. So anyway, very fortunate on that. But the life took us to North Carolina for Haley's Racing, NASCAR. And then Hayden's, we built this ultimate compound in North Carolina. We bought it.
It looks so good.
Well, we bought a ranch there. We bought a ranch, a barndominium, big white house. And then I built a dirt oval track there. I built a supercross track. I built an outdoor track. Me and Sonny, my brother-in-law, Leonti, and which he's a track builder now. His first time driving tractors were my tractors as a kid. Destroyed a lot of shit, but now he's a legit track guy,
Yeah.
And either way, we, like I said, built all that, and it was in North Carolina because I thought that was gonna be our home base. That was in Mooresville by Lake Norman.
Yeah.
And I thought home base, and then that was right when Hayden was 250B, and then he's going pro, and I'm like, man, we got to go check out these teams, and you got to try the different bikes and kind of see what you think. And that's kind of when we went on this tour to kind of decide where we wanted to end up. And then after really going to the goat farm and Hayden rode that Star bike, and it was just like, dude, this is it. He's like, we have to be on this bike. And Hayden's, we all know he always had the best equipment, the best bikes, right? Because that was me. I wanted that. I didn't have that as a kid. So he was used to having the best of the best as far as engines and suspension. And so I'm like, we have to be on that bike because obviously that bike was the elite, right? And so we, let's buy a house in Tallahassee. Here we go. And I'm like, we just built the compound in North Carolina. That was like the ultimate. And we're like, oh, guess we're gonna have to sell it. So we ended up just selling that house, and it ended up going to a NASCAR guy who bought it. And I was kind of bumming because it was just so sick. It was like, I think it was like 50 acres, totally had its own water source, rivers flowing, fresh streams. I was like, if we ever shut the gates, this is the spot.
Yeah.
And once I was kind of bummed when we had to let that one go because it was just this, like, I felt so secure as a dad there for the family. And I figured, plenty of room for everyone to come, right? It was plenty of room for multiple houses and all kinds of stuff.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.